Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Flights. I'm your host, Lazerbolt. Tonight we are going to be taking off from beautiful Paris. That's where we left off last week. We were checking out the Eiffel Tower, and everything's quite beautiful here. But tonight we're going to be flying to Amsterdam, taking a little stop in at London, and we're going to finish the night in Liverpool at John Lennon Airport. So that should be kind of fun. We're going to have a good old time. I don't think I've ever been to Liverpool before. Been to London plenty of times in the game. But yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Grab yourself a cocktail. It's Friday night, or a snack. And yeah, we'll be taking off in about 3 minutes. So, hey everybody, how's it going? It's good to see you. So hopefully everybody's week went good.
Yeah, goes by quicker and quicker, seems like.
Sure does.
As long as they keep going by, that's good.
That's the key right there.
And when your weeks stop, you got a problem.
Yes. I had a good old week myself. I spent like 5-6 days on the road. I went up north to Michigan's Upper Peninsula there and had a nice little trip. Did some camping, and yeah, it was nice. I just got home yesterday, and it's nice being home too. You know how that is.
Yeah, I saw your geese video.
Right?
I'll have to look at that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was weird. I just posted that yesterday. Yeah, it was bizarre. It rained like hell. I mean, it just absolutely downpoured. You could see the campsite is actually a little bit flooded. And it after it stopped raining, the flooding went away within an hour or so. But right after it rained, it was pretty damp. But it brought a bunch of worms out. So there was worms all over the ground. And as soon as those worms came out, a big flock of geese came down and landed. There must have been 100 of them. And they just swept across the campsite, ate all the worms, and then went about their business. It took them like 3 minutes. It was kind of kooky.
Funny, I have a pretty funny geese story myself. Back when my daughter was probably 3, we went up, took a drive up into the mountains to play in the snow, and stopped at a city park and decided, let's make a snowman. So she's rolling these snowballs around the ground to make a big snowman, and we got done with these little brown things like stuck all over this snowman.
Oh no!
Turns out the geese had just gone bathroom all over the place there, and it was right underneath the snow, and we didn't know it till we made the snowman, so we called it our goose poop snowman.
That's nice. Yeah, I hear you there. That's definitely the thing. The geese came in and they removed all of the worms, but they left something much worse.
Yep. Now that was like a pretty cool site you were in. Looked like you were right on the campsite was right on the water.
Oh,
almost
yeah,
too close.
It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Barbecue you some steaks, or?
I did. I barbecued the first night. I barbecued myself a nice ribeye, and then the last night I was there, I made myself 2 filet mignon, and oh my God, they were so good. They were so amazing. Well, it's hard to have a bad filet mignon. You know, they're pretty expensive, but it was phenomenal. Man. Really had a good time.
I can imagine. Here we're gonna start this food conversation like the last night.
Yeah, we always talk about food, you know. I guess we're guys. Guys, we're getting about ready to take off here. We're going to take off maybe 15 seconds or so. I don't think we need to go too awful high tonight. I think 6,000 feet should do it. There's no mountains in the way or anything like that, so 6,000 should be just fine. We're going to take a slight left-hand turn out of here, and we are on our way to Amsterdam. So behave yourself.
Like the other Sin City.
Alrighty, it is 10 after the hour. It's time to get these birds up in the air. Lazerbolt is spooling up and rolling. Got a beautiful early morning here in Paris. It should make for a nice colorful flight with all the early morning colors going on. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy that.
There goes my plane again, tilting bad to the right.
Oh no! I hope you don't have the same problems you had last time.
It's
As
almost
soon as you hit like
it's gotta be
100 knots, as soon as you hit 100 knots, it'd be like you hit a brick wall or something. It was weird.
Yeah, well, this is like I got a massive crosswind.
Yeah, I saw you teetering back there.
But no, to answer your question earlier, Bob, I'm in the Captain Sim, the 2020 version, because I remember how I changed my reversed the axis on my nose wheel steering, and it steered good for the Blackbird.
Yeah.
Well, the next plane I went to fly after that, it was reversed, so I couldn't control it. So it's only unique to the Blackbird.
Wow. Okay. I didn't have that issue. I don't know how you ended up with it.
Yeah, so rather than, I mean, I'll try it out a little bit after tonight to see if it still affects me, because I put it back the way it was. I turned off that option to reverse my axis because it was affecting all my other planes. So it's like, well, I'd rather just affect one plane than all of them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it'll default back, when you go back into the Blackbird now. They shouldn't have done that. Something happened.
Bob, is your gear still down?
Mine was.
Well, sometimes you can't tell if it is or not. It just might look like it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it was. Longhorn distracted me. I'll blame it on him.
Yeah, I'll blame
Looked like
him
you
too.
had like a tow bar still attached to your front wheel.
No, I don't have that. I got them up now.
Because you had like some long bar coming off your nose wheel.
Well, that's weird.
Well, I like the settings I did on my VR headset yesterday, because it was the GPU upscaling is what I was messing with, and it kept making things fuzzier and fuzzier. So I turned that off, and I did GPU sharpening, and now it's like I could read every single gauge all the way across the cockpit.
Excellent. Gotta love it when something works right. Yeah, I need to get around to. I'm probably going to wait for the new big update to come around. But when it does, I'm for sure going to make a VR, flying in VR kind of video. It's great stuff.
The rumors are most likely is coming out next week, probably Tuesday. If not Tuesday, then probably Thursday.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Just based on their past history.
Right. Alrighty, I'm going to try to maintain around 280 knots. I know we normally do 270, but we've got a slightly longer flight plan tonight. So let's try to hit 280, and we'll get there on time.
I missed the altitude you said you wanted to fly at.
I'm going to hold at 6,000. It's pretty flat around here.
Okay, then I just go back down.
Mateo, I don't see you anywhere in the neighborhood. Are you sure you're on the right server? We're on US West.
I thought he said he was in the service day 3 beta.
That's right. He's in the beta. Never mind. Never mind. It's a shame that we can't see you in the air, but at least we got your company.
The only one that was able to be seen in was, I think, update 1. That's when they would let you see each other, but ever since 2, they kind of stopped that.
Yeah. Well, and this was the update too. Remember that once Travis installed it, he found it impossible to get rid of it. He couldn't fly with us anymore once he installed it. So I think he's just kind of waiting for the update to come out to everybody so he can fly with us again.
I thought he'd got a resolution for that. Was able to get back out of it. And
Maybe
fly
he
with us
did.
one time.
Maybe he did. He did fly with us about 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I know it wasn't easy. He had to jump through some hoops to clean out some files.
I had a quick call from my dad that I had to pick up. So I assume you're already in the air?
Yes, we just took off a couple minutes ago. We're not too
Okay.
awful far from the airport.
You're anyways, every one of you is on SU2, not on beta, if I'm not mistaken,
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, we're all on the other
I'll
version.
just fly with you. By the way, in the group flight info text channel, there is some spam. Just let it.
Oh yeah, that just showed up, didn't it?
It must have just showed up because I
Literally.
wasn't there before I put my headset on.
You know, and the thing that bothers me worst about that is he used the @everyone. I hate when people do that.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Because now I have to go through and like make that go away. I hate it when random people just put, "Hey, @everyone, check this out."
Is there any way to block him so he doesn't do it again?
Probably.
Yeah, I think I would kick him, ban him from the server.
Seems like an odd place to have a bunch of AI ships down there, but because it's just a really thin river, but I'm seeing a whole bunch of AI ships, cargo ships and fishing ships and stuff.
Really, I don't really see any name tags. Oh, I got a couple, like Sherpa and Ile d'Amour. Oh yeah, I guess there's a few. They don't look like traditional AI. They're probably actual ships in real life.
Well, that's what I mean when I call them AI. They're
Yeah.
live ships. Yeah, they don't. When they put a name tag on them, then it's actually a live ship when they have a name on it. It's supposedly a real live ship that's supposed to be a real
Right.
ship that's cruising around.
A real
similar
ship
to the aircraft.
it's on a schedule, so they know where it's supposed
Yep.
to be, and they put it there. That's always kind of cool, I thought.
Well, the only thing left to do now is trains.
Yeah,
But they
trains
seem
would
to
be
be having
nice. I mean, I know the world don't have as many trains as it used to, but it'd still be pretty cool.
There's actually a cool mod on the marketplace. At least for Switzerland, you get all the train lines with actual trains running on them on a real schedule.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I'd like something like that. I mean, you know, how often are you going to actually see them? But when you do, it's pretty exciting.
For VFR flying, it'd be kind of fun, but
Yeah, and with helicopters, that's one thing I do often, so that's why I got. And I'm Swiss, so
All right.
I absolutely wanted it. But it is actually a cool mod, and it's not super expensive. I think they plan to do other countries as well. They just started with Switzerland.
well, Asobo kind of bailed on it because where everyone was just kind of expecting, oh, just put some trains out there, the artificial ones that are just cruising along the tracks, we got something to look at. Well, Asobo took it that, oh no, if we're going to do it, we want to do it right. And kind of similar to the way the aircrafts and the ships are. They want to put like a schedule and they want to have every live train on there. And they realized the logistics in that was just so overwhelming that they decided to put it off for a while. It's like, no, we don't need that. We just need to see something on the tracks.
Yeah, just to see the occasional random train would be better than nothing. But is it necessary? No, not really. It doesn't ruin my experience. It would be nice though.
Yeah, to me, honestly, I really don't care either way because most of my VFR flying is local, and we have no train. I mean, well, there's an abandoned train track that goes probably 20 miles from us, but
Right.
it was abandoned years ago. So the closest trains to where I live are like probably an hour and a half away, and then it's just a light rail system that goes back and forth from San Francisco to Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of train tracks around here too, and it's been a long time since I've seen a train. I do know that they still occasionally run. I mean, there'll be a shipment of something coming through town occasionally, but it's pretty rare.
I haven't been there for quite a while, but when I lived in Toledo, when I first moved there, I lived in an apartment on the south side of Toledo, and there was a train track probably a mile or two from my apartment, and that trains went through there nonstop. And then eventually bought a house on the north side of Toledo, right on the Michigan line, and I never heard a train after that. heard the ships coming into the harbor. I love that sound. They blow their big horns as they're coming into the harbor. That was cool.
Well, I had to cross the mighty Mackinac Bridge twice. Like I said, I went camping last week. I had a good old time in the Upper Peninsula. And yeah, I wasn't looking forward to driving my big old RV across the Mackinac Bridge, the Mackinac Bridge is famous for its high winds, and at least once every couple years, somebody gets blowed right off of it, and that's not good. It's never good. And it was the weather was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It was a great drive, both going there and coming back. It was just a great crossing of the bridge. I really wish that I had some kind of a like a dash cam, so I could have recorded going across the bridge. I think it would have been kind of interesting, like crossing the bridge and filming the whole thing, and then splicing it together with some flight sim footage. Because we go to the Mackinac Bridge, occasionally. We've been there a few times. It'd be nice to get some footage of the bridge itself and then crossing it. But there's no way I was going to hold the camera in my hand as I'm crossing that bridge. That's just, no, not a good idea. But it is impressive. It is quite a long and tall bridge. It's really something. I'm a little disappointed in myself that I went right past Mackinac a couple times and didn't stop and get any fudge. Well, gentlemen, we are inbound for Schiphol, which is in Amsterdam. It is Echo Hilo Alpha Mike. When we get there, why don't we just land on runway 36 right? It should be relatively straight in. For runway 36 right, we have over 11,000 feet of asphalt. Oddly enough, the elevation is negative 11 feet. So they probably flood all the time over there, I'm guessing. But we have an elevation of negative 11 feet. Let's see here. We do have an ILS approach. So if you want to write this down, we have an ILS feather at a frequency of 111.9er. Actually make that a 0.95. So the approach frequency is 111.95. That is at a magnetic heading of 1 degree. So give yourself a 1 degree on your course heading there. And we'll be coming into runway 36 right on 111.95. Hey Bob, how's it going there, buddy?
I was looking down. Did I go right past you here?
Nope, you're just going right underneath my right wing, and yeah, we're still pretty tight. Got a beautiful sunrise happening here. Now the sun is just starting to come up. Let me enter that ILS frequency into my nav radio before I forget.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
We got 111.95. Just like that. Longhorn, what's up, buddy?
Just checking out your undercarriage.
Hope everything's there.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to do a little maintenance, huh? Oh, I was going to tell you, I don't know if Longhorn mentioned or not, but we met up last Monday, wasn't it?
Monday or Tuesday.
Like met up in the game or in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was flying a little couple sorties out of Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada whenever the Indian Springs landed at the Homey Airfield, Area 51, and tell me things aren't crazy at Area 51, but lo and behold, Longhorn spawns in right beside me.
You never know what you'll see at Area 51, huh?
Well, I hopped out of my my plane and I ran over and stood in front of his airplane, figuring he's got to see me before he leaves.
That's funny.
Yeah, we hooked up, logged in and started talking to each other, and then did a reverse flight back to Nellis, and then Indian Springs, then Nellis, then I think from Nellis went to China Lake. We even tried the Dirty 30, flying that together on one leg.
Right on. Yeah, I didn't even get around to installing the new version of the Dirty 30. I said I was pretty much took a trip all week, so I didn't have any chance to do that. But how's the new update? Was there anything that impressed you with it?
What did we have? We couldn't capture the pink line for the autopilot, and then my issue was the nose wheel steering was reversed on my rudder control for my yoke.
Yeah, mine didn't do that, so mine flew pretty good. I had to use heading mode, but I didn't have any issues with steering or engines or instruments or anything else.
Yeah, it flew great once I got it up in the air, but I had to do the same as Bob. I had to do the heading mode only because it would not.
Oh,
It
right.
just kept flying. It just crossed over the pink line, ignoring it.
Right.
Well, you know, that's we were flying to start out with in the new version, the 24 versions of the C-130J, not the Blackbird Sim, but that airplane I could not get it to lock on GPS on the line either.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the one we're flying now, the H version, I have no problem with the autopilot. This thing works better than the update.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that Dirty 30 is still technically an alpha version, so they've got a lot of work to do on it. If they don't even feel comfortable calling it a beta version yet, that means they got a long ways to go. And it's a complicated piece of machinery. I mean, that flight computer on there is mind-boggling.
Well, the latest update, they called it an early beta.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they
Good.
did. Yeah, now they're calling it the beta. Yeah.
All right, well, we're making steps at least.
Yeah, they're up to what, $39.99 or something like that, $40 maybe.
Yeah, I'm glad I bought
Yeah,
it when I did. That is an interesting way to go about it, though, too. Like I said, they released the vastly incomplete version of it for relatively cheap, and then every time they update it, it gets more expensive. So, hey, I'm glad I bought it early.
It's a good way of doing it because you support them right off the bat. You give
Mhm.
them some funds, so it encourages them to keep trying to improve it. And now once they consider it very polished and very well done, well, of course they should command a premium price for it.
Oh, they will. I don't know, I mentioned before that DCS has come out with the exact same airplane, and they want $55.99 for theirs.
Right, and it's not even the combat version. It's not even the AC-130. It's more of a support role.
Yeah, it's a J model, and I guess shortly after they're going to release the MC-130 with the aerial refueling pods.
That's cool. Yeah,
So
that could come in handy in DCS.
Well,
wasn't
they're
it Blackbird that also just released a helicopter? I think like the CH-64 or something like that.
MH-60, I think.
Okay,
It
that
was
was it.
Miltech and Blackbird together.
Okay.
They make good
Right,
stuff.
that one-
Yeah, Miltech.
Yeah, that one looked really good. The trailer I saw for that thing, like that thing looks pretty well detailed. Looks pretty fun.
It is very nice. I
But
like
you-
it.
Yeah, you're a helicopter flyer. So have you flown that one, or have you seen it?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it is fun. It is also the combination with the. I didn't try it out too in depth, but they also built the mission hub, where you can actually do missions and like aerial firefighting and all that stuff. Everything that the career mode should be, they implemented a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, very cool.
I have the Chinook. I think Miltech. I think that's by Miltech. The one I
Yep,
bought
it
a
is.
while back.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty nice too.
It's pretty detailed. I've seen some people talk about that, and it's pretty nice. Like that was
Yeah,
one
I
that our
have that
buddy
one
Hog
too.
Dog used to love. We got a guy around here called Hog Dog, and that was one of his that he liked a lot.
Yeah, I have that one too. Although I have to say the MH60 is better. Like with the autopilot is a little bit weird. You have to get used to it. Like it is not an air like the MH60 and also what came out the Captain Sim S76. They're both like not study level like an A320 from Phoenix or something, but they are. You have to invest time and learn the systems. They're not just I'm gonna hop in and fly around.
Yeah. Well, a lot of stuff in
that's
DCS is like that, I've noticed. I mean, the first time I played DCS, I spent an hour and a half and I couldn't even get my aircraft started. I think it was, well, they got that Black Shark helicopter. It's a pretty basic helicopter. I mean, it's a high-tech one, but it took me forever to figure out how to even start that thing. I couldn't even fly around. It's a very in-depth simulation.
Yeah, the C-130 is going to be that way too. I've watched a couple of videos already. I'm like, holy smokes, man! That blew my mind. I think it's going to outdo even Blackbird Sims, the 3030 that we've got.
I might have to buy the 130s as well. I was at an air show last weekend, and I was able to sit in the cockpit of a 130J.
Ooh, I'm jealous. How cool was that, huh?
Very.
I've sat in the cockpit of lots of helicopters, Chinooks and Hueys both. That's what my father used to fly. But I never sat inside of a Hercules. I think that would just be impressive. Well, see, the difference with a Hercules is if I sat in a Hercules, I might recognize a lot of it. In a helicopter, it's like, okay, this is all cool. I mean, I know what the instruments are, but I would recognize a C-130 cockpit in a heartbeat.
Well, you need to go to Oshkosh. That's just across the pond from you anyway.
It is.
That way, yeah.
Bob,
Then
I
you get
I have no excuse for not going to that. I've never been.
Oh,
And it's
shame on
just
you.
right there. I mean, I'm in Michigan. If I take a boat, I can be there in 6 hours. And yeah, I have no excuse for not making it to that, one of the world's biggest air shows. It's right there every year, and I've never been. I know I would love every minute of it.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it's further away from me. But man, that's on my
Right.
bucket list.
That would be a perfect little RV trip for me. I should consider doing that one of these years. Well,
But
I'm
I've
starting
been
to
in
get
the
my
flight deck
daytime.
for 130 many times, so I'm
Yeah.
not missing it. But
You used to do that
I-
for a
I-
job. Yeah, that used to be your
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
So.
But this new one, the J with all the digital stuff, that just blows my mind. I don't know anything about that one. I'm used to the one we're in right now.
Yeah, I like the steam gauge version myself. I'm an old-fashioned steam gauge guy. It's so much easier for me to just scan the instruments and know my situation. It's
Right.
just you've got the glass cockpit with the computer panels and all the little digital numbers. I have to actually look really hard to find the information I'm looking for. But with the big dial, like I said, I can scan my instruments and in a quarter second I know everything about I need to know. But in a glass cockpit, like I said, I got to kind of look around a little bit. And, even just looking at the number, I have to do the math in my head. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, this and that. But if it's a dial, you can tell right away if it's where you want it to be.
Right. Yeah.
I
Well,
think
that
this also-
FMS has got me all messed up. That flight management system. I don't understand it.
I think that's also a lot of training and just experience if you prefer glass or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you also should fly a little bit different with a glass cockpit. For example, if you have a total velocity vector, you should fly way more with that versus like your actual angle or incline or all these things. And yeah, the FMS that's a computer you have to learn, and they're not very intuitive.
Yeah, I need to watch some videos. Maybe if I can find somebody that's posted something out, on how to set that FMS system up, because
Isn't that Dirty 30?
Yeah, it's beyond.
Well,
I don't know anything about it.
I mean, even if I just learned the basics, that would get me going. I just, you got to know how to navigate your airplane. If you can't navigate your airplane, then you can't fly, period. That's a big part of aviation, is being able to figure out how to get where you're going, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can use the heading bug and fly a heading, but for it to actually use the autopilot and navigate, like for TACAN or any of those other systems, I still don't understand it yet.
I haven't monkeyed much with it myself, but do they allow you to kind of cheat and just use your EMF, create your flight plan in the EMF and just send it to the computer?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Because that'd be helpful, especially like in the beginning where you're trying to figure out what you're doing. At least then you could fly and get used to the systems without having to dig deep into programming that flight computer. I imagine if you're familiar with programming like a jumbo jet's flight computer,
That might help
it's
you,
probably very similar, I'm guessing. You know what I mean?
Probably so.
Yeah. So we're only 90 miles out from, we're going Amsterdam, 90 miles from Amsterdam. Should be good old time. A reminder, when we get to Amsterdam, we're going to be landing runway 36 right. It is an ILS approach. I give you the numbers again if you need. And that's what we're going to be doing. Count on a negative 11 feet elevation. That's very bizarre. There's very few times I've landed at a place that had negative elevation.
If you want to fly, today I'm flying the Starship, the Black Square Starship. If you want to fly really weird avionics and a really weird FMS, you should try that one.
That's the one, huh?
It's like, it's all displays, but they're all more like copies of steam gauges, so it feels like very analog. And the FMS it's not fully classic anymore, so it's all computers, but it is before like that standard FMS kind of FMS standard that you now have in airliners or in the 130 came in, so it's completely different.
Right,
And
it's just a
quite
little
bit
older.
of-
What'd you say that's
At
called
least for
again? The
me-
Starship? I don't know if I'm familiar with that.
I think it's by Black Square, Beechcraft Starship. And
Is
it
it,
like it's the one of these, how do you say? The wings are in the back and canards in the front.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Is it a prop or a jet?
It's a turboprop.
There's a ship down there called Cocky.
Don't get cocky, kid. I got all my textures changing over from nighttime to daytime now. It's looking pretty.
Wow, there's a UPS plane out here.
Really.
Yep, off to our right.
I saw somebody a
Like-
second ago. I didn't realize he was a UPS. I could see that it was an actual airplane.
Yeah, UPS 208. Probably going to Amsterdam.
I see a
I guess-
JAF 737 behind you.
That's the one I saw.
Right.
Well, on the EFB, I see a lot. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the level that I've got it zoomed out to, or zoomed into. So I imagine this place gets a lot of air traffic
Oh, I see it now too. Okay.
between Paris and Amsterdam and London.
Yeah, I've got 2 airplanes that look like they're heading towards London.
What runway did you say we're gonna land on?
We're going to land on 36 right. 36 right. Yeah, we're still about 70 miles out. Should be getting there soon. We're making good time. Like I said, we're maintaining about 280 knots going on here, indicated. It is flat as a pancake around here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And that is the beauty of this game, though. Even in a place like this that has so few features, it's still beautiful. It's just everything's there, man. It's great. It's got that layer of haze, all the rivers, and you see the farmers' fields and stuff like that. They just look great. It's just fantastic. This area back in the FSX days would be pretty bare.
So I see a bunch of AI ships down here now in this river, but they don't, most of them don't have any names on them. But a lot of ship traffic down there. Looks pretty cool. Wow, there's a lot.
Yeah, I don't see any name tags on the river at all.
I mean, you must have yours on ultra high or something.
I think I have the ship set to ultra. So there's a Camiel, which I can't even pronounce. It looks like it's in German or something. It says it's a pleasure craft. And then there's another one that just says it's an other. And then off to my left, there's another ship labeled Max, but it's too far away to see any more detail than that. And then Rapide just came in. A couple down below me. Yeah, there's I see all over the place around here.
I think I have my set on high, but I'm not seeing a single one.
No, me neither. I'm going to turn right just a few degrees to 030. Probably didn't need to do that, especially since we got this ILS approach going on, but I want to get as straight in as possible. We're already pretty straight in.
There's a ship down here labeled Viking Drakkar.
Sounds like a cologne.
And the Golden Pearl's down here. Like a harbor or something. A lot of POIs out here too. Can't see what they are, too far away for them to have labels on them.
Yep.
See a cluster way up, right at the edge of like wherever that water is out there, and another one like in the middle of the river.
Switching over to AFF. And ILS 1. Actually, I'll wait a second on the ILS, because that always makes my distance go away.
Yeah, I wish the helicopters wouldn't fall off the AI ships. You can land on them, but then when they make a turn, your aircraft falls off.
Right. Yeah, that's always been an issue with every flight sim I've seen. They can make a nice hard surface for you to land on, but there's not enough friction to keep you on it.
Yeah, because I landed on one outside of Hawaii with I think I was in a helicopter. I'm sure I was. It's probably just like the gimbal.
A big cruise ship or something?
No, it was like a tanker ship or something, but it was all going great until it made a left-hand turn and my helicopter fell into the ocean.
Your helicopter just kept going straight.
Yeah, it's like I'd like to have, just taken a little scenic tour.
That's one of the things that's impressive about stuff like GTA, like GTA 5. You can land a helicopter right on top of a train and it'll stay there. You know, it's pretty impressive. That's not easy to do. About 40 miles out, we should be picking up that ILS feather before too long, within the next 10 miles, I guess. Yeah, when I lived in Germany, we visited all over Europe. You can just take a drive over the weekend and visit. If you go any direction, you can go someplace cool, some country, But never made it to Amsterdam. Just never did. Of course, I never made it to England either, but you need a boat for that. Remember, this ILS feather is at a magnetic heading of 1 degree. Now, we'll switch over to that. We'll know when we're in range when this pops open. It'll probably be about 26 miles out. Might as well put that 1 degree course heading in there. 1 degree. I'm going to go ahead and bring my altitude down to, I don't know, about 3,000 feet or so. I just picked up the ILS feather. I might as well switch over to that as well. Going full ILS. Descending to 3,000. Now I see all kinds of boats down there. I didn't see them when they were in front of me. Of course, you got to be kind of close to them for them to show up. They're already disappearing. Turning final for runway 36 right, 36 right.
Turn behind you.
At 20 miles, as expected, my glide slope indicator shows up on the artificial horizon. We're looking good. Descending through 4,000 for 3,000. Time to start watching my speed here. I'm going pretty quick. Just beautiful. You can't beat this bird. I love it.
Yep, I just froze up right on my approach.
Oh no. Well, keep your fingers crossed. It might recover. I've had some pretty big lockups where I was convinced that I was going to have to restart, and then it snapped itself out of it.
Yep, she shut down, went right to Windows.
No. That's not good. Back in the FSX days, if you had even a slight pause, it was death. There was no way to recover. As soon as it paused, you knew it was just going to crash.
Right when I was on a perfect ILS approach.
I'm 10 miles out. I've got the runway in sight.
Kind of what happened with me last night.
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
Right on. Yeah, just go ahead and spawn in right on runway 36 right. That's where we're going to be taking off. Glide slope engaged. We're coming in.
Well, hello, Coach. Did you sneak in on us just now, or was you there?
Half sneak, half there.
Hey, Coast. Happy Friday, buddy. How are you?
Good yourself, guys?
Good, good. We are just coming in on Amsterdam, getting ready to land at Schiphol. After that, we're going to London. That's kind of your old stomping grounds, isn't it? You spent some time in England?
I've been to London 3 times, yeah.
Nice. And that where you met your wife, right?
No, I met her here in the States.
Oh, really?
Her family's from London.
Oh, okay. Well.
No, we went there on a honeymoon, and I went back there to meet her family when I was working over in Europe.
The old meeting the family thing, that's always intimidating. Got a perfect approach going here, looking good. 2 red lights, 2 white lights. What more could you ask for? I got a ship over there called Why Not? They missed a perfect pun. They didn't even spell it K-N-O-T. They just spelled it N-O-T. Why not? Come on, people. I guess K-N-O-T was probably taken. Lazerbolt on 1 mile final for 36 right. Boy, this ILS is taking me right down the pipe, man, perfectly. It's often off to the side one way or the other, but not today. Lazerbolt is clear to the right. Runway's open. Ooh, I like off the right hand side of this runway. They got a nice smooth area for you to back taxi to. Usually when you're not on the runway, it's like you're off-road and then you're bouncing all over. Not today. The coast has been nice and warm around here lately. How about you guys? I'm imagining you're getting it too.
I just saw a TV show that says that they isolated the cultures of certain areas around the whole United States, and where your area of Michigan and our area of Western New York are in the exact same culture distribution, believe it or not.
Yeah, small world, huh? Well, I imagine we had a lot of the same mixture of immigrants back in the day coming in. A lot of German, a lot of Polish, that kind of stuff.
A lot of German, a lot and less Polish here. A lot of German here.
Well, Wingnut, that looked pretty good. I couldn't see your wheels, but it looks like you got them out.
Yeah, I spawned in on Longhorn and on my way back in, so I got to do a landing, but I wasn't doing an ILS.
Well, it looks like it worked out good for everybody. Longhorn didn't have that invisible wall that's been stopping him lately, so good deal. Did you do anything different, or it just kind of fixed itself?
Nope, just might have been those airports because it seemed to be fine.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, both those landings look real good, guys.
I don't think this is a taxiway, but we'll give it
No.
a shot.
It's nice and flat over here, though, so like I said, you can taxi back, and it's not like you're off-roading like usual. Oh, you went right past it. It might be off-road for you now.
No, I'm on pavement.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, this little kind of a dirt strip to the right of the runway is nice and smooth. Alright, I'm going to roll back out onto 36 right, and we'll get out of here in a minute or two.
I think I'm on the golf cart path.
It don't look too big. This is a huge, huge runway. We can take off 3 times from here. Alright, when we take off out of here, we're going to have to take about a 95-degree turn to the left. And we'll be on our way to Heathrow. Good deal, looks like everybody's ready. If you're not ready, now's the time to say something.
I'm ready.
Right on, guys, let's get these birds up in the air. Lazerbolt is rolling. We're going to climb back up to 6,000 feet and try to maintain 280 indicated, 280. Look at this parking lot. Holy moly. It's freaking huge. You see that? It's absolutely loaded with cars too.
Yeah, off the left wing there. Yeah, shoot, yeah. That's a big airport.
Yes, it is. And that parking lot is about a quarter of the size of the airport. It's huge.
Is this another runway? There's another runway over here with a like
yeah
track around it or something.
I noticed that this airport had a right, left, and center runway. Alright, get back set up here to follow that pink line. I mentioned we're climbing back up to 6,000. heading to the big island of Great Britain.
You going to Heathrow?
We are. That's going to be our next stop. That's going to be where we take our penultimate break. After that, we're heading to John Lennon International. I don't think it's an international airport, but it is called John Lennon Airport.
Just let it be.
I love it. Here I was trying to think of a Paul McCartney and Wings joke about the airport wings and all that, you know.
Not sure which add-on it is that I have, but I'm seeing a whole lot of military ships. Or actually, they may not be military. I think they're just tankers, but they all have POIs on them.
Really? Oh yeah, you know what?
Most of these are tankers, but I do see a car carrier.
Oh, I thought these were POIs, but instead they're just a bunch of wind farms out in the middle of the water. I didn't know they did that. Are these windmills supposed to be out here in the middle of the water? There's shitloads of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Huh.
do that.
I guess why not, yeah. That how SpongeBob gets his electricity?
You remember the Channel, don't you?
Sorry, Coast?
Channel. The train that goes between France and England under the strait here.
That has to be a weird feeling, huh? Knowing that you're underwater.
So I'm guessing we're close to the North Sea.
I'm close, relative, I would imagine.
Because I think that's what, because I have the add-on for the North Sea, which adds like 300 different oil platforms and ships and all kinds of stuff. I think that's what I'm seeing, because this area right here is just loaded with POIs now.
I imagine there's a lot of traffic around here, for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the add-ons I bought for 2020 that just transferred over to 2024.
Oh, really? Yeah, one thing that surprised me about all those geese that invaded my campsite, like I said, there was at least 100 of them. There were tons of them. And I was real surprised. The geese aren't really that big. For some reason, I thought geese were kind of big, but at least these wild geese, they were kind of small. They were like the size of a duck.
Were they Canadian geese?
Yeah, I think so. I guess that's probably the kind we'd get up there. There was a lot of movement. I was telling the guys that you can check out my shorts. Well, not my shorts, but my YouTube shorts. I made a little short video of all these geese in my campground there. It rained like cats and dogs. It absolutely poured, and that brings the worms out, of course. You know, so the worms are kind of poking out of the ground so they don't drown. That's why they do that. So when it rains, you get a bunch of worms all over. And as soon as these worms popped up, a big flock of geese came down and ate them all, just like clockwork. They came down and they were so efficient. They swept across the campground from left to right. and just ate everything in sight, and then just moved on to the next site. It was like crazy. It was like within 2 or 3 minutes, they'd cleared the entire place of worms, and then they moved on. In one big unit. They weren't even like scattershot. They were all one unit doing the same thing. They cleared it out, and then they moved on. It was pretty impressive. Like I said, unfortunately, they got rid of all the worms, but they left behind something much worse. As soon as they left, I wish it would start raining again.
I'm familiar with the remnant.
Yeah, the duck cigars everywhere. I guess there were Canadian geese. There's certainly a lot of movement going on. This time of year, I think they're fattening up so they can make that big trip south.
Yeah, we had a flock of geese come over the house yesterday.
They sure are loud.
Oh yeah, they are. You can tell from a long way off.
Mm-hmm. I do have a lot of ships down here, though. Like the Happy Penguin and the Calypso. So, Mateo, how's your flight going? I wish we could see you, but in your universe, is everything going smooth?
Yeah, I just did a go around at. I'm a little bit behind you guys, so I just did the go around at Schiphol. I'm now following towards London.
Oh, right on.
I guess when I had to reload back in, my HSI quit working.
Boy, you're having all kinds of problems tonight. What is going on? It's always coming up with new stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
I don't remember
the
this.
Flight plan is there. I reloaded the flight plan and everything, but it will not. My HSI is not giving me the mileage or nothing.
Huh. I wonder if it's still stuck on the first leg, and now we're on the second leg. But it should still give you a distance. It would just be wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I know there's the red and white bar across it. It's not even showing up.
Oh, yeah. Well, we are about 147 out from Heathrow. Hard to believe we're mere weeks away from football season. I'm pretty amped. I love football. Not ready for summer to be over, but give me some football. I'm ready.
This preseason, the Bills are playing the Bears.
Are they this week?
Yep.
Yeah, my Cardinals beat the Chiefs last Saturday.
Did they? Well, I'm not sure how many preseason games my Lions have already played. I think it's only been 2. But our first game, we got absolutely destroyed by the Chargers. Preseason game, don't care. They can beat us as much as they want. It's not about winning in the preseason. But they smoked us, absolutely crushed us. And then last week, we didn't even finish the game. I'm not sure how far into the game we got, but the Lions had a very bad injury. They had to carry the guy out on a stretcher and stuff. It was a pretty bad injury, and so they just called the game. They just called it off. I've never seen that before, where an injury was so bad they just said, "Nah, we're done. Just everybody go home." But it's a preseason game. They would have never done that in a regular season. You know what I mean?
Well, they learned from the Damar Hamlin incident. You don't remember that?
Oh, I do.
They learned it.
Yep.
They called the game too there.
Yep. And really, preseason, I mean, it's not 100% useless, but it is not about winning or losing or anything like that. It is 100% to give your new guys some time on the field, to give them some reps. You know, the guys that you know are starting, you don't even need them to play. You know they're on the team and they're going to be there. But there's a whole bunch of people that are on the edge. A whole bunch of players that we're not sure if they're going to make the team, or we're not sure what position to put them. And so they put them in an actual game situation, and they can check them out that way. You know, it's more of a learning experience than anything. So yeah, I didn't mind that they called the game off. It's fine. We don't. That's the only thing I have against preseason is you do tend to get some injuries. That's worthless injuries, meaningless injuries, and football's tough enough as it is, you know.
Yeah, well, actually, what happens too is that the roster size keeps dwindling down for the first 4 games of the season. I think it is, or something like
Yeah.
that. Until
Yeah.
they get down to their actual size, they carry essentially space for people who get killed or get
Get injured.
injured during the front half of the season is where they get
Yeah.
a lot of.
Well, yeah, and right now everybody's roster is pretty bloated. They're going to have to cut their team down to get to the official numbers. And yeah, this is a good way to see who stays and who goes, you know. Like I said, I mean, people on paper always look different than they do in an actual game time situation, you know, and just not just looking at the player's skills, but looking at the cut of his jib, you know, how does this guy react to being, you know, they'll put a small guy against a big guy and just watch to see how he handles it, you know what I mean? You know, it's just to see it. They know this guy isn't going to have a chance against this dude, but how does he handle it? What's his character like? You know, does he keep trying? You know, that's the stuff that you want to keep an eye on to see, you know, if this guy's going to be on your team or not. That's looking real nice there, Longhorn. Got the sun behind us and everything. It's beautiful. We've got Bob coming up. We'll keep these Hercules together.
I'm flying heading, so I may not be exact.
Right on.
I can't. My plane won't follow the line anymore.
It just won't do it, huh? Well, maybe when we get to Heathrow, you can just do a direct from Heathrow to Liverpool, and you'll be able to do that. Either way, you can follow your heading mode.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Yeah, and Liverpool was one city we visited when we were there a long time ago. My wife's uncle lived in Liverpool.
Nice. His name isn't Bob, is it? I hear that's a
Nope.
saying over in Great Britain. Bob's my uncle.
Nope.
I never heard that.
Never heard that? I'm not even sure what it means. I almost think it's, I don't know. I've heard it many times. Like somebody will be talking about something, blah, 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 and then somebody else will say, yeah, sure, and Bob's your uncle. You know, like they don't believe him. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Bob's your uncle. That just means somebody's full of shit or something, I guess. I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard it many times.
It's a way of stopping a conversation too.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, and Bob's your uncle, and then that's the end of it.
Yeah, that's new and on me. And I'm Bob.
Yeah, and I've heard it for lots of years, Bob.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably heard it a time or two. I mean, I only have it in context to try to figure out what it means, so I'm sure I got it wrong. But judging from the couple times I've heard it, the context made me to believe that it's something that you might say to somebody that you don't believe their story. Or like Bob said, you're just trying to end the conversation.
It's one thing you say when you have nothing to say, essentially.
Yeah. when we get to Heathrow, we are talking about Echo Golf Lima Lima. We're going to be landing runway 27 right. Count on that, runway 27 right. It is an absolutely huge 12,800 foot of asphalt. Only 78 feet of elevation, so that's not too bad. We do have an ILS, so that's always fun. We have an ILS frequency for 27 right of 110.3. 110.3 for 27 right. That is at a magnetic heading of 269 degrees. 269 degrees for 110.3. 110.3. We're currently just over 100 miles out, and runway 27 right is relatively straight in. Put that in the nav radio now. Here we go. Yeah, it was weird that that campground I stayed at was called Big Lake Campground, but it is not the Big Lake. It is surrounded by much bigger lakes. It's surrounded by, I believe, Lake Superior and Lake Michigan, but they call it the Big Lake, so who am I to argue? But it was a very nice campground. It was weird when I called up to see if they had a spot for me. The lady was almost apologetic on the phone. She was like, oh, we're a really small place and all the campsites are right on the lake, so you're going to be like real close to the water. And I'm thinking, that sounds great. She's like, we only have like 15, we only have spots for 15 people. We're like a real small place. We don't have showers. All we have is an outhouse. And so, you know, it's kind of rustic here and it's real quiet. And I'm like, everything you're saying, lady, sounds better and better. This is perfect. Sign me up. I'll be there tomorrow, you know. And it was really nice.
I'm guessing sales wasn't her strong suit?
I guess, like I said, she was like apologetic about it. And everything she said sounded great.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're camping out at Target or something.
Exactly. And it was weird though, because it was one of those places to where Longhorn, you do enough camping, you probably run into this, where I pulled in and I set up my site and everything, and I got my RV all set up, and the neighbors start coming over. Here comes neighbor Bob. The neighbor on the left, his name was Bob. He comes over and starts talking to me. He's like, oh yeah, I've been coming here for 35 years. This is the same campsite I've been in. I come here, we're going to be staying for like a month and a half. That kind of stuff. It's like, holy moly, Bob's like a lifer, you know. And then the guy on the other side of me, he comes over and he's like, oh yeah, me and my kids been coming here for 25 years, and me and my wife, we just love it. It's like, geez, I felt like the outsider, you know. I was like the new guy. But luckily everybody was super friendly. I mean, they were glad to see me. It was weird though. It was almost like a cult or something, just because like everybody knows each other, you know. And like I said, as soon as I pull in, the neighbors come over and they want to talk to me. Like, hey, how are you? Who are you? What are you doing? You know, how long you ever been here before? It just, you know, everybody was real proud of the place and they wanted to show it off.
Have you got any booze?
Well, if they knew me, they'd know the answer to that is yes. Man, they got so many wind farms down here. Look at all these windmills. Alrighty, we're 87 out from Heathrow. Reminder, we're coming in on 27 right.
Yeah, we're taking off a week from Sunday for a week. I'm gonna try a new campground on the coast.
Oh, nice. You've never been there, you say, huh?
Nope. The
Is it
reviews
pretty
are all
far
over
away?
the place. Within 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
It's a state park. No amenities. I mean, they have like, what is it, 86 campsites, but they have 3 vault toilets for the 86 sites, and they do have water. They said drinking water is available at the campground, which is good, because I'll just, we use all the facilities in the trailer anyways. They don't have showers.
Right.
I'm guessing that they don't have a dump station being right on the beach. But
Yeah, I didn't mind when the lady told me to. It's like, yeah, we don't have showers or bathrooms. We just have an outhouse. And they did have a dump station. I was surprised to see that. They had a big dumpster, so that was all cool. I enjoyed that. And like I said, I mean, I don't really need all that stuff. I've got a restroom and a shower right in my RV. So, yeah, I was all set and ready to go. Met some lady named Jill and her dog Gypsy. Her dog Gypsy was awesome. She was okay.
I hope she's not watching your YouTube channel right now.
I would be surprised. I would be very surprised. Here we are, jolly old England. England is one of those places that I would really like to visit, though. It sounds nice. I think I would like it there. Like I said, every
made
place
it
I
to Europe.
visited, every place in Europe I visited was great. Like I said, I spent time in Italy and Austria and France and Germany, and it was all just great, you know. But England, that sounds nice.
All of my journeys were in the Pacific, so I never made it to Europe.
Right. Spent more time like in Japan, stuff like that.
Yeah, Japan, Okinawa, Philippines, Korea.
Tell you what, Japan is super popular nowadays. In these last couple of years, I hear people talking about visiting Japan all the time. That's like
Yeah, it
people's.
is.
It's like people's dream. I just want to go to Japan. It's weird. I mean, it's not weird as in I don't understand it. Yeah, Japan sounds wonderful. But just a big resurgence of Japan in the last couple of years where everybody just wants to go there.
In
Yeah,
the
my
last-
feeling is almost any place in the world can have some nice places to it.
Yeah,
By the way, one of the advantages of going to England, they speak English.
exactly. Well, I think I would enjoy Japan. I could go to Japan and have a good time. I mean, it's not like going to China or Vietnam or, you know, something like that. I mean, Japan's pretty modern, regular, normal old place, you know. So they speak a little weird, but I think I would enjoy Japan just fine, you know. I don't think I would enjoy going to China. That doesn't sound like fun.
I've been
One
to
of the things-
Japan about 7 times in the last 14 years or something. And
Really?
yes, it is amazing.
What
It
brings
is
you
weird,
there?
mostly skiing.
Oh, yes. I remember last time you were talking about going skiing near Tokyo, I think.
Yeah, near Nagano and near Sapporo.
Especially go up north in Japan.
They do have lots of mountains,
Yeah.
that is for sure. A lot of volcanic activity going on.
Well, yeah,
A
the
lot
Ring
of
Fire.
snow.
Say again.
A lot of snow. Not just a lot of mountains, also a lot of snow.
I know snow well. I'm very familiar with it.
So we're 62 out right now, and another maybe 10 miles or so, I'm going to slowly bring it down to 4,000. That's only 2,000 feet we need to lose, but I'm going to bring it down to 4,000 before we latch onto that glide slope.
Yeah, and traveling around in Europe, especially, and England, you can get around on the trains very conveniently and effectively. It's surprising how well that works.
That is one thing that I wish more people would do. More people need to travel, especially more Americans. Go to a different country and see what it's like. You know what I mean? Just get out of the United States with all the weird shit going on, and everybody's got a weird attitude. And take your weird attitude and go to England, and you'll see that people are just people. Doesn't matter where you go. People are people. You'll run into the same types of people wherever you go, and cultures are different. And just get exposed to something different like that. I just think, especially young people should take 2 years. Out of college, take 2 years and just travel. Just go someplace exotic and see something that's going to impress you, and just, it'll give you a different perspective on everything, And it also helps too with there's a lot of people who seem to have the attitude nowadays that everything sucks here so bad and it's just the worst and we're the worst country on the planet and every place else is so much better than us. It's like, well, go to Europe and check it out. You'll realize they got the same problems we do. It's very similar. Everything that's going on here is going on there too. That's just life. That's human nature. People are people,
Yeah, agree. It would help for a lot of people to have a little bit more travel and a little bit more experience with other cultures, other countries.
Yeah, my daughter says when she was in Taiwan that the people there are just great. She just loves them.
Yeah. Well, this is one thing I think people like Germany. Germany has such a bad reputation. It's just people think that the Germans are mean and rude and joyless, and they don't have a sense of humor. And it's like, I tell you what, I never had more fun in my life than when I was in Germany. Those people were great. It was like hobbits almost. You know what I mean? The German people love celebrating. They love living life. They take nice vacations. They take care of each other. They love to feed you. They're very proud of their country and they like showing it off. And I don't think those are a lot of traits that Americans think of when they think of Germany. You know what I mean? They just think it's some kind of a weird authoritarian state, and it's like, no. I mean, it's, as a matter of fact, even the climate in Germany is just like Michigan. That's exactly when we lived in Germany and then we moved here to Michigan. You can't tell the difference. It's like the exact same place. All the plants are the same, all the animals are the same. It's just the temperatures and the climate and everything. It's just like Michigan. And the people were wonderful. The people in Germany were so nice and friendly, and I don't think that's their reputation for being nice and warm and friendly, but they were. It was really amazing. More people need to expose themselves to something like that, and just, like I said, get a true perspective on the rest of the world, that they're not that different from us. I think I'm going to go ahead and drop this bird down here. I've only got 2,000 to lose, but I'm going to bring it down to 4,000. This is our penultimate stop of the evening, so when we get down to Heathrow, we're going to back taxi to the beginning of 27 right, and we're going to take a 10-minute break. Grab yourself a cocktail, grab yourself a drink, or use the restroom if you need to. And this is a good time to remind everybody that if you would like to join us, please do. We fly pretty casual around here, and we take it easy, and we're easy to get along with. If you'd like the information of the group flight, it is always in the description of the YouTube video. That'll tell you the airports we're going to and what aircraft we're flying. And you can get the PLN file for it right in the Discord here, where we're on our MS Flights Discord. And then it'll be all in your GPS, and it'll just follow that. So yeah, If you want, you can get the game on Game Pass. That's a good cheap way to do it. If you're not sure if you like it or not, try it on Game Pass and see if it's your cup of tea. And yeah, one of these days, come and join us. We'd like to have you. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, please do. Come join us one of these days. Descending through 5,000 for 4,000. A reminder, the magnetic heading for this ILS feather is 269 degrees. 269 degrees. Just got within range of that ILS. That's interesting. I'm at 29 miles and I still picked it up. So, very cool.
I'm just over one of these big wind farms. They really look cool. And yeah, I'm still a bit behind you guys, like at 80 miles.
There are a lot of them out there in the water, man. They go all the way from Amsterdam to England. Lazerbolt is engaged with the ILS feather, and we're coming in. Yeah, I found a nice little butcher shop when I was in the Upper Peninsula there, and I love it. That's where I got those filet mignon, and they were wonderful. They were so good. But I just like the fact that I go into this butcher shop and say, "Hey, give me one of those and give me one of those," and they wrap it up in paper. You know, wrap it up in paper and send you on your way. It's like there's just something so nice about that, you know. See, Captain Hopper over here notices that this is a good-looking bird indeed. Captain Hopper, how you doing, buddy? We are just getting ready to land at Heathrow in London, so that'll be very nice. Heathrow's a beautiful airport. It's quite huge, so should be all kinds of stuff. I've got the city itself right now rendering in, and yeah. Turning final for runway 27 right. The Thames River is looking nice and windy.
They didn't tame it.
I thought Travis was here for a second. We're 18 out from runway 27 right. Bring my speed down just a little bit here. Of course, I've got my glide slope feather, my indicator popped in, so everything's looking good here. How are you? Wow, this is a beautiful shot of the city coming in, isn't it? Sorry, Bob.
I was just saying, I switched over and my airplane accepted it now. I've got
Oh,
everything
good.
working. HSI is working okay.
Right on. Good deal. Look at this stadium over there. It has all those doodads sticking out of the top and everything. That's pretty fancy.
Ooh, that is a big city.
Yeah, this is looking nice, isn't it? I can smell the English breakfast from here. It is early morning after a while, or after all. You know, an English breakfast looks pretty good, but you can keep that black pudding. No, thank you.
Black pudding? What is that, licorice?
No, it's even worse. I think it's pudding made out of like pig's blood or something. It's a blood pudding. Yeah, no thanks. I'm not a picky eater, but I don't need to go that far down the food chain. No, thank you.
Yeah, I see that big old Ferris wheel over there that I've seen on TV.
Is the Eye of London?
Is that what they call it? Like a big giant Ferris wheel?
Yeah, Captain Hopper says he's been here to Heathrow. He says he only got to see the airport from the inside, but it's a cool town. Awesome. I'm jealous. I got travel envy of you there, buddy. Yeah, there's a lot to see here, that is for sure. I think I see Buckingham Palace right there. My glide slope indicator is descending to the horizon. When we get down, I think I need to find the nearest pub and grab myself a cocktail. Glide slope is engaged and I'm coming in. I'm getting spoiled with these ILS approaches here. The last couple were just flawless. Bit of turbulence coming in here. Yeah, Bob, I see you behind me. I'm going to be maintaining a 120, 120 knots on the way in.
Yeah, I'm trying to slow up. I saw I was catching you pretty quick, so I'm trying to put the brakes on.
That's
I'll
right.
stick my hand out the window and see if that'll drag or slow it down.
Looking
I'm
good
tossing
so
my shoe
far.
out the window.
They just throw an anchor out. Yeah, Coast, when I was making this flight plan, I was trying really hard when we were leaving the Paris area. I wanted to fly over the Asobo headquarters, but there's absolutely nothing there. There's nothing there. I even Googled it, and Asobo themselves said we didn't bother modeling our building. Uncle, that's weird. That's a missed opportunity. You know, I mean, I wanted to see where this game is made, you know. Where's the sausage made here? But nope, there was no sign of it at all.
They missed an opportunity.
They did. They should have put it in. Lazerbolt is on final approach, runway 27 right.
They may not have because they didn't want some angry people. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, I can't believe it. They just didn't think of it, you know.
They probably didn't want anybody to know where they were.
Maybe. Although all you got to do is Google it. It'll show you what the building looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, we both went the same direction, Bob. I figured I'll go to the right. Hopefully you go to the left.
Looks like Bob was trying to pick your pockets.
No harm done. Alrighty, we're going to call this 10 to the top of the hour. We're going to be back in the sky at the top of the hour. This is going to be a slightly longer flight than normal, but we need to get to Liverpool, see what's going on there. So let's go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll meet back up here, and we'll be in the sky. I wondered how many square miles this airport covers. This is a legendarily big airport here.
there went someone called an awake shoe.
An awake shoe?
Awake shoe. The jet
Alright.
just took off.
I was a little concerned here for a second. I saw you guys disappear, and I thought, whoops, I must have got sent to a different... Hey, you guys just disappeared again. Wonder if I'm having
Yeah, I
trouble with
don't
my
see-
multiplayer.
I don't see you either. I see
Yeah.
Longhorn sitting here in front of me, but I don't see you anymore.
Yeah, you guys just popped in, and then a second later you pop back out again. Who knows, maybe once we leave this area, everything will be fine. We will be taking off in about 2 minutes. There you go, now you're back again.
Yeah, I see you now.
Weird.
That might be a server deal.
It could be. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get back on this runway here, and we'll get ready to take off. On this next leg, let's see here, I'm going to check the distance, but in order to make the leg go a little bit quicker, let's climb up to 8,000 feet instead of 6,000.
I see you back now.
Yeah, you guys disappeared a couple times, but you came right back eventually. Oh, Captain Hopper says the stream froze even. He had to refresh. Yeah, maybe it's my internet. Who knows? I'm checking out the stream right now. At least it doesn't look like the stream is super lagged out and it's way behind. It's behind about as much as it normally should be, which ain't much. A few, maybe 5-10 seconds. So that's not too bad. Yeah, like I said, when we take off out of here, we're heading to Liverpool. We're going to check out, I want to say John Wayne Airport. It's not John Wayne Airport, it's John Lennon Airport. It should be nice. I want to check that out. We're going to take a right-hand turn once we get out of here, and let's climb to 8,000 feet, and we will be maintaining 280 indicated, 280 knots. 30 seconds, guys. It's got us scheduled to come in on runway 27 when we get there, and that's just fine. We also have an ILS approach, so we'll do that. Alright guys, it looks like we're all set to go. Let's get these birds up in the air. Lazerbolt is rolling. I'm getting some frame issues now, but this is quite a dense city. And as soon as I lift it off, everything turned fine again. Good deal.
I think I'm only getting 18 myself, but I got a smaller graphic card than everybody else.
Yeah, this game is actually pretty friendly when it comes to systems. Surprisingly, it's pretty good. Especially if you keep it like on 1080p, you can run it on any kind of system.
The VR is quite taxing.
Sorry, say again?
VR is quite taxing, but
Oh,
on
yeah.
flat,
Yes,
flat
yes.
monitors, I absolutely agree.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't think it. I've only got an RTX 2060, and I don't think I can handle VR on this.
Yeah, I have a 4080 and I still have to turn it quite far down. It still looks gorgeous, don't get me wrong. far away from Ultra.
Boy, the natives are restless tonight. I can hear the bar crowd outside. Yeah, I see we have somebody joined us here in Discord. Let's see, what's the name? Petro? Something like that? How you doing, buddy? He doesn't look like he has a microphone activated, but here he is. Okay, I burned right past my 8,000. It wouldn't be a flight if I didn't do that at least once. I'm going to go ahead and level out at 9,000.
Just flat as wasn't a mountain.
Well, it'll give us a little better ground speed. We'll get there a little quicker. Increasing speed 280. Alright, when we get to Liverpool John Lennon Airport at Echo Golf Golf Papa, we will be landing on runway 27. So let's do that. Runway 27, we got 7,500 feet of asphalt. We also have an ILS frequency, so we've been in luck tonight. We're going to be landing with an ILS frequency of 111.75. 111.75. That is at a magnetic heading of 266. Put that in now.
So what was the heading?
Heading 266 degrees. So, Captain Hopper, I don't know if you're still in the chat or not, but do you know what's going on with Sea of Thieves? Is there a new season about ready to be released on that? If so, I completely missed the last season, but I do like that game. I don't like missing an entire season. That's a fun game. But I think they're getting ready for a new one, right? Funny, even at 9,000 feet, it doesn't look like we're that high. I confess that I've never really been a big Beatles fan. Just kind of missed that boat. Never been my thing. You know, it's like I feel like I was just in that age range where it sort of missed me. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, the Beatles were old already. There were stuff that my mom and sister listened to. You know, there were just old stuff. You know, and if you were a kid in the 70s and 80s, that was kind of the stuff that you rebelled against. You know what I mean? It was like, that's old music. That's not my stuff. And you listen to other shit. And so I never really got big on the Beatles. And then a few years later, the Beatles nostalgia thing kind of hit. Right now, the Beatles are huge. I know people that weren't even alive when the Beatles were a thing, but they love them. They absolutely love them. They think the Beatles are the best thing that ever happened. And I don't know. It's just not my thing. Like I said, I almost feel weird. People see that I'm an old guy and they're like, oh, you must be a huge Beatles fan. And I'm like, no, actually, no. I mean, the reason I'm not a Beatles fan is because I'm old enough to not be a Beatles fan. You know what I mean? Like I said, when I was a kid, the Beatles were not cool. The Beatles were super not cool anymore. They were over already. You know, I think people think I grew up with the Beatles, and I'm like, no, man. I'm 58 years old, and the Beatles were, by the time I was a teenager, they were done already. They were gone, you know. So I never was a big Beatles fan, and I know that's not a big popular opinion. A lot of people don't like that, but like I said, the Beatles are legendary nowadays, and they're just like, you know, they're huge. They're just huge now. Everybody holds them in super high reverence, and I don't have anything against them, but I've just never been a Beatles fan. I don't know, not my thing.
I never was either. I was more into Elvis Presley when I was that age.
All right. Yes, yeah, I missed that boat by a long time too. I was more into stuff like Duran Duran and things like that. That was my jam. That was, I'm more of a 70s
Yeah, but
kid,
wasn't that
but by the time I was listening to music, that was the stuff that was popular. That's my earliest musical memories are, Duran Duran and Ozzy Osbourne and just, that kind of stuff.
Well, I was mostly into country, but I started leaning more toward the Eagles as I was getting older in my teenage years.
Yeah, there was a lot of Eagles songs I liked. I've always kind of been a little more of a metalhead. Yeah, that's another thing. People see my age and they assume that I'm a big country music fan or a Beatles fan or whatever. It's like, no, man, give me Slayer. Give me good old-fashioned Metallica, back when they were great. Give me some Megadeth and some Anthrax. I'm all about that. That's my stuff. Tool's my all-time favorite band without question. Tool is just a whole different level. Tool's a whole different thing, and you either get it or you don't. You know what I mean? It's just, that's what I'm into. One band I never was able to get into, and as a matter of fact, I do hate them. I don't hate the Beatles, I just don't like them. But U2, oh my God, I can't stand U2. That is torturous. If you sat me down in a room and made me listen to U2, I'd go out of my mind. I freaking hate those guys.
I don't think I even know any of their music.
There's a couple of them. They're all bad.
I'll take your word.
Once again, an unpopular opinion. People seem to love U2. A lot of my friends love U2, but oh God, I hated them since day one. I was in college when they got big, and I was just like, yuck. We're already making some good time towards Liverpool. We're only about 75 miles out. That's good. We're going to have to start thinking about descending here before too long. Maybe another 20 miles, I'm going to drop her down to 4,000 feet. Reminder, we're inbound for runway 27, so we are going to have to jog out a little bit to the side. Yeah, and it's weird too. I think a lot of people assume that I'm a Tool fan because I went to school with the lead singer from Tool, Maynard James Keenan there, Maynard Keenan from Tool. I went to school with him. And I've had that be an issue too, when I've told people, hey, I went to school with Maynard Keenan. They're like, there's no way he's that old. I'm like, well, I'll try not to be offended, but actually he's about 3 years older than me. He was a senior and I was a freshman, so he's older than me. But yeah, it was just one of those things that he was just another kid, actually not just another kid. He was the star wrestler. He was a very good wrestler. His father was the science teacher / wrestling coach. A weird combination, but it kind of worked out really good. His father was just a brilliant guy too, real strong-minded, real like, these kind of guys that it's like, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything, and the human brain is amazing and malleable, and you can teach yourself to do anything, and just, stuff like, if you just sit there and imagine making baskets, you'll get better at basketball, and it's like, it sounds like bullshit, but it's true. Just sit there and keep imagining you making baskets, and then you'll get home tonight and you'll be making baskets better than you did before you went. It's just, that's how the brain works. And that was his philosophy, real science oriented, but also a very good wrestling coach. He really knew what he was doing. And anyway, Maynard Keenan was like the star wrestler, absolute beast when it came to wrestling. But yeah, it was interesting going to school with him. He was an interesting guy. It was one of those things to where, like, years after high school, years after, I was at band practice, and some dude that always hung around the band all the time came into the little jam area we're practicing in, and he had a CD. And he's like, "Hey, you guys remember Maynard Keenan?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he joined like the Marines or something. You know, I haven't seen him in a decade or whatever. It hasn't been quite that long, but I haven't seen him since high school. He joined the Marines, and that was the last I heard of him." And he's like, "No, man, he's in a band. Check this out." And I thought, Maynard Keenan in a band? Are you kidding me? That was just so foreign. It was just so weird. You know, he had no connection to music at all that I knew. People say he wrote weird poetry back then and stuff, and that's quite good. I wasn't close enough to him to know that. But, yeah, he popped in that CD, and 20 minutes later, all of us were just sitting there with our jaw dropped going, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is absolutely astonishing." I had no idea that. And, of course, we didn't call him Maynard. That wasn't his name. That's not his name. His name's Jim. You know, so he was like, "Hey, remember Jim Keenan?" And so we listened to Jim Keenan's album, and it was just blowing our minds. Like, it was so good. But yeah, he was one of those kids where both of his parents were teachers at the school. His mom was the French/German teacher and also taught English. So English, French, and German is what she taught, and he taught natural sciences. And and they raised himself quite a clever little boy. Yeah, from what I understand too, it was one of those households where they didn't have a television, so there was no just sitting around watching TV. For entertainment, you would either read a book, or you would play an instrument, or you would exercise. That's it. That's the three things that you're allowed to do in this household. Read a book to entertain yourself, exercise to make your mind and body stronger, and play music. And I don't know, like I said, it was a weird combination, but he has a very unique mind, you know. I think it's about time to drop down a little bit here. I'm going to bring it down to 4,000 feet.
Wonderful. So what kind of instrument did you play?
Me, lead guitar. Our band was called Citizen Pain. Yeah, Citizen Pain. We were actually kind of a big deal around town here for a while. It's a small town, but we were known. Everybody in town knew us, and everybody in town just thought we were great. It was hard to get gigs in this small town because we were pretty heavy. We played Slayer and Pantera and Danzig and Tool and all kinds of stuff like that. And none of the bars around here wanted anything to do with that. So we had a hard time playing, but we played parties all the time.
As long as you're having fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the only way to do it. We got to play the music that we like, and it doesn't matter if anybody else likes it, but that's what we want to play, you know.
That's what we did. I was in the Air Force, and we had a bunch of us guys get together and jam sometimes on the weekends, but that was just for fun.
Yep, just for fun. And a lot of people were like, "Well, how come you didn't pursue it and try to make a career out of it?" And it's like, well, this ain't LA. I'm living in a small-ass town in Michigan here. There's no record producers coming around here, you know. We didn't write our own music. We just did cover tunes. That's it. You know, and like I said, if there was a chance that there's a record producer sitting in our audience, we would write some original tunes. But instead, there's nobody out there that wants to hear original tunes. They want to hear the same old shit. You know, people want to hear songs that they know. So we would play cover tunes. That's all we did. We played cover tunes, but we did cover tunes nobody else did because we were doing super heavy stuff. And so yeah, we got really good at doing that, and we made a name for ourselves and had a hell of a time. Had a great, like, maybe 5 or 6 year run, and that was that. You know, we never took it any further than that. Just one day where we're just done, you know. Set that radio beam coupler to AFF. Get Get ready for that ILS approach. .38 out, and about another 10 miles we'll probably pick up that ILS feather. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and jog out to the right just a little bit right now, and we can get it lined up. A reminder, our airport, our runway 27 is at a heading of 266 degrees magnetic. Almost at my 4,000 feet, and I will be holding out there.
We'll be good at 4,000 to catch that ILS.
Yeah, I think 4,000 will be just under it.
Okay.
Hey guys, I think I'll be taking off, guys. Take care. I'll see you.
Take care, Coast. Hopefully we'll see you soon, like maybe next Friday or something. In the meantime, you take care of yourself.
I'll give it a shot. Take care, guys.
Right on.
See you, Coach.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Night, bud. We're 27 out. I should be picking up that ILS feather here in within a mile or so. I'm far from lined up with it at the moment. It's at 266. Yeah, next week we're probably going to leave Liverpool and we'll head back to the east. Probably cut across the country and find one more stop to make here in England before we jump back over the pond. And not quite sure where we're going to go after this. Maybe Germany a little bit. We're going to bounce around Europe and just check out all the standard places here and see it all real good. my glide slope indicator just popped in, and it is real close to me. I'm going to go ahead and latch on to the ILS feather in hopes that it hits my glide slope and brings me down. I'm not exactly lined up with it just yet, but I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, mine is just dead even.
Yeah, as soon as it
lined
popped
up.
in, it was just barely above the horizon. I'm not sure it's going to engage, but I still got hope. No, it did not engage. I don't think I'm pointing close enough to it. I'm going to go ahead and drop a few, maybe 1,000 feet here, and we'll try again. Yeah, usually 4,000 is enough, but you got to be pretty well lined up already to do that. Turning final, runway 27 right. Actually, just 27 this time. Now I'm back underneath the glide slope. Good beans. Alright, much better.
Oh, dang. That's a nice bridge over there.
Ooh, which direction?
Mercy Gateway or the
11
Silver
o'clock.
Jubilee. Got a couple of really pretty lit up ones
Oh
here.
yeah, that is a nice
Well,
bridge.
both of
isn't
them
it?
look nice.
Got a couple smokestacks over here. Actually got smoke coming out of them.
Yeah, 3 cooling towers and a big smokestack.
Glide slope engaged this time, and I'm coming in. Got an airplane over there called Eggy the Sweat. An M24 Plus, whatever that is. Yeah, they got 4 cooling towers over there, right, packed up together, don't they? Only 3 of them have smoke coming out of it.
Yeah, that's pretty nice to know.
Mm-hmm. I see those cooling towers quite a bit, but I don't usually see smoke coming out of them, or steam.
Mine didn't engage, so I'm going to have to hand flyer down.
No engagement.
Yeah, it lines me up, but it didn't grab a hold. It didn't pull me down.
Yeah, once I was lined up, it grabbed a hold, but I had to descend down to about 2,000 feet to be underneath the glide slope still. But as soon as I was lined up, it grabbed a hold, so that was a good deal. Speaking of engagement, the #1 chatter tonight is Captain Hopper. He's got the little #1 next to his name to prove it. Your prize is in the mail, buddy. That is a nice bridge, isn't it? 2 of them. According to the Pappy lights, I'm a little bit low, but that'll be fine.
That's the way the ILS brought me in with all 4 red.
Yeah, me too. It's not going to be an issue, I'm sure.
And I thought I was in full reverse. Found out I was in full throttle and went airborne again, and just about didn't get stopped.
Yeah, the button I use for my reverse thrust sometimes doesn't work, and I do the same
Yeah, that's
thing.
what happened.
Yeah,
Didn't engage.
yep, I'm holding it down, but it just didn't register, you know.
I planned the timing pretty good because the lights that just came on, the sky is pink.
Nice. Yeah, it's a whole different color palette when it's early morning instead of late night like we usually do, late evening. It's kind of nice. Well, it's nice that, like I said, when we take off in the morning like this, the beautiful colors kind of last the whole flight instead of just like the last 20 minutes.
And I made it to the ground.
Darn shame. I'd like to see that starship.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, that starship sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I can. It is worth. It's not super. It's not cheap, but it is absolutely worth the money. The system depth is amazing. It looks so sleek.
Who makes that again?
Black Square, I think. The same guys that make. I think the same guys that made the Duke and Piston Duke, and also like the 208 and the analog version in 2020.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, they did the TVN 850 and the 930.
Oh, yeah,
I
TVN is
had
really
that in
nice.
2020.
Yeah, and like every system, everything is working. It's so nice. And then having a canard airplane is just cool.
Yeah.
The,
Oh, you can tell by
performance, like,
the performance of it probably shows with the canard.
it's fast, yeah, but it takes quite a long runway. That's one of the disadvantages.
Right.
For like short fields, it's not the ideal airplane.
What kind of speed you got on that?
I was flying today, what was that? 20,000 feet, 230 indicated, about 320 true.
Nice.
But she can go quite a bit higher.
Yeah, that'll get you there, sure.
It's like, I think the idea was originally the idea, I think, was to replace the King Air with this one
Right.
from King Air is Beechcraft, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think that was the original idea, and then it got way too expensive, and because everything is like carbon and fancy computers and stuff, it was actually quite a bit more expensive to run. That's why I think they didn't have success and actually ended up buying most of them back and destroying them. There are only in real life
Oh, no.
like very few left.
Oh, that hurts to hear it.
Because they didn't want to support it anymore.
Just give one to me and I'll never ask you for support.
You know, there's a yellow submarine over here in the parking lot.
For real?
Makes sense.
Oh, God, yes, that's right, of course. Yeah, it makes sense that John Lennon Airport would have a yellow submarine. Too cool. Hey, take a picture. Does it look like the one in the cartoon, like a highly stylized?
It just looks like a half a can with a tail fin, and no. Kind of looks cartoonish, I guess.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Once again, they took the time to model that, you know. Now, how many people are even going to see it? Very small percent of the people that own this game are even going to see that, and they modeled it. Great. Yeah, I haven't set up the controls yet on my drone camera, so I can't fly around.
Mine's not working for some reason. My drone, I'm using a keyboard to do my drone, so I can take a picture with that. But if I can figure out how to save it and post it,
Oh, right on.
it's because it's different.
Sure. So Longhorn, everything went pretty smooth for you today. Compared to last week, you had a trouble at every single airport. This week, everything looked fine.
Yeah, for the airplane, it crashed out on me again. I was in the drone trying to go check out the yellow submarine,
Oh.
and it completely froze on me. And eventually, well, when I took my headset off, there was a memory address that could not be read. So it said press OK to terminate program.
Doesn't give you much choice, does it?
Nope. At least I made it to the ground.
Sure.
It just seems to be something that's like really touchy with this. Like they changed the sensitivity or something on it, because this thing like wobbles all over the place, left, from wingtip to wingtip, striking the ground.
I haven't seen much of that in a couple weeks, but I did see it about 3 weeks ago. I had that issue when I landed. As soon as I got on the ground, my wings wouldn't level out. It tipped me over onto one of the wings, and no matter what I did, it would stay there. And then a couple minutes later, it just went back to being level again, and it never happened again. It was just a weird random thing, a one-time thing. Boy, you can tell that it's really calm around here. Even the windmills in the background are barely moving.
I posted a picture in the media share channel of the Starship, or a picture like a screenshot.
Oh yeah, I want to see that.
I got it in
Wow.
there too. I just now figured out how to do it.
That is very high-tech looking. Look at that thing. I bet you that one of those ain't cheap. Yeah, cool. I mean, she takes the props off of there. It looks just like a jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. It looks maneuverable.
It isn't really that extremely maneuver, or like it's as maneuverable as some of these, but it just looks gorgeous.
That's a good looking one. I put your yellow submarine down there finally.
Oh, there it is. Oh, cool. Hey, I like how they've got it. It looks like it's going through the bricks. That's very cool looking. Yeah. It does kind of look like the one in the cartoon. Very cool. Yeah, neat airport. I like this. It's bigger than I expected. Especially since it's not really an international airport. I mean, it is, but it's not called that. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Well, okay, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream. I appreciate everybody who watched and people who stuck around. We have a lot of fun around here, and we're glad that you want to join us once in a while. If you ever wanted to actually join us in the game, it's really easy to do. The information is in the description of the YouTube video, and you can figure out what we're flying and where we're going to. Get the game on Game Pass. That's a cheap way to do it. Like and subscribe right here on YouTube. That'll make you feel better about yourself. And we'll see you next Friday. Take care, everybody. Bye now.